Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for being here. I hope you're all doing fantastically amazing there. I do apologise for the lack of things on my channel the past couple of weeks. I have been out of the country. Yes, I am back now to haunt everybody's dreams. Yeah, that sounds cheesy. Anyway, we're going back to good old Reddit, my friends. Good old Reddit. It's up to you guys and girls to believe these stories I will tell you. Are they true or are they false? Knowing Reddit, they're probably false. I do hope you'll enjoy them. I will be back very soon. Thank you. Never to be seen again. This is a story my parents told me. It happened in the mid-1990s. My German parents just started dating a couple of months ago, and at that time they did a little weekend getaway to Prague. They had a great time, and on their last day they decided to do a guided city tour. Since Prague is a popular city for Germans, they quickly found a tour in German. The guide was super nice and they quickly made new friends in the group. It was a young couple from Germany. They planned on having drinks afterwards together since they got along very well. The tour took about 3 hours and the last stop was at some kind of tower. Everyone wanted to get up there except the young man my parents chatted with the whole time. He said he was already very tired and offered to wait next to the entry and that everyone could leave their bags with him. My parents and the man's girlfriend went up there. They had a great view, and when they came back down after maybe 15 minutes, the man was nowhere to be found. All the bags were still on front bench where he wanted to rest. Nothing was missing. His girlfriend immediately felt very uneasy since her man usually was very dutiful and would never just leave, especially with all the belongings unattended. Most people left, and after a while my parents waited with the young woman. They assumed that he got sick or something and asked at every shop and bar near a spot if they saw him. No one did. He was nowhere to be found. My parents later brought her to the police, where she filed a missing person report for him. They also checked every hospital in the city. The next day my parents had to go back home. They did exchange phone numbers to catch up. They talked to her on a regular basis for several years, but the information did not change over the years. The man was nowhere to be found. Especially during the 1990s, the Czech Republic was known to have a huge problem with human and especially organ trafficking. It was nothing new for the police in Prague that especially tourists would just disappear. The police told the woman that someone probably lured him into a building or a quiet side road by asking for his help. You can imagine what probably happened from there on. My parents talked to a woman for one last time about 10 years ago. She was then happily married and had 2 kids, but she said not a single day passed when she did not think about her young lover and if he could still be out there somewhere.
Thank you for the great support, I really do appreciate it. If you are enjoying what I'm doing, why not think about subscribing to my channel? It is free and would help me a great deal.
Not my mother. So this story happened about 11 years ago. I was a senior in high school at the time, but it is the single most mind-boggling thing I have ever experienced. It is also important to note that it happened in mid-December. I am from Iowa, and the winters here get cold at night. Like if you get stuck outside, you will kind of die of the cold. That plus the snowfall makes everything dead silent. You can hear anything and everything inside the house, and even immediately outside of it. Well, me and my best friend were hanging out in my family's walkout basement. Just having a boring winter's night playing video games. We were also the only ones home. The reason it was just us is because my mother went from work straight to a bar to grab a few drinks with co-workers, so me and my friend thought it would be a good idea to break into the family's wine and live a little. As we were sitting there opening up the first bottle, I hear the door to the garage open and slam shut. I immediately go, oh shit, and start looking for places to hide the bottle. My friend then said, I thought you said your mum was supposed to be out all night. She was, replied. I then heard a few heavy stomps and hear my mother yell out, meow, Sanbu, anyone home? I yell back up the stairs. Yup, just hanging out in the basement. I hear a few more steps move from the garage door towards the stairs, and she yelled out again, "Can you come help me with something? I need your help up here." I reply back, while frantically trying to find a good place to hide the wine bottle. "Yup, give me just a minute." Then there was silence for about 20 seconds. "Anyone down there with you?" she yelled back in a more concerned, serious tone, in a voice that was slightly off of my mother's. This was the first thing that told me something wasn't right. Our family never cared if anyone was over, as our house was a very open house to all family and friends. In the voice, it just seemed wrong, like it sounded like my mother's, but it was missing something that I couldn't put my finger on. Weirded out, I replied back, "Just Colton." And after I yelled that back to her, I found a good place to hide the bottle and began walking up the stairs to the next level. Now, as I was walking up the steps, I couldn't help feel the overbearing silence of the house and the slight electric twinge that something isn't right. When I got to the top of the stairs, I look over to where the door to the garage is, and also the kitchen next to it, and it's black, pitch black. All if the lights were off, and there was no moonlight shining through any windows. I walked over to the kitchen yelling out, "Mom, where are you?" There was no reply, just silence and darkness. I feel the electric twinge turn into full needles and my adrenaline kicked in full force. I have to get out of here as fast as possible. My mother was not home. I run back down the stairs, grabbing my coat along the way. "What's wrong?" Colton says. "My mum's not home." I replied as fast as I can. "Looking for my truck keys? What do you mean? You were just talking with her." I could see the confusion in his face. "There's no one home. We need to leave now." I took a few steps towards the back door that opens up to the yard, and then I see my dog shaking on the couch and a cat growling behind it. I couldn't leave them. I just knew that if we left, something would happen. "Are we leaving?" Colton said, still confused as hell. "No, I can't leave them here alone. Something is really off. I'm going to call my mom and figure this out." I pull out my phone and call my mom. She picks up immediately. "Meow Shibu, what's going on?" she answers. "Mom, were you just home? I heard you yelling for me for a second level. And when I went up the stairs, you weren't there," I said frantically, hoping that she was playing a joke. "No, I'm just leaving the bar. I wasn't feeling very well. Are you okay?" "What do you mean you heard me?" I fill her in on the whole story and she rushed home. Colton and I stayed in the basement with the animals until she got home. Before she did, you could hear something up the stairs. Not walking or sitting on things, but the pressure in the air, like a black hole that was slowly moving from one room to the next. And the word that I would instinctively describe it as is hungry. When she got home, you could feel the thing leave just as quick as it came, like an overbearing predatory presence had just flown away. We still have never figured out what the hell was going on, and this is just one story of many unexplainable things that have happened to us. But this is the easiest one to write down, and one that I was happy to have a witness. My mother has passed away now, and I have moved away to Arizona. But whenever I go back to Iowa and I see Colton, he still gets creeped out by what happened. I will never truly know what happened, but I know that whatever it was that had my mother's voice, it was evil and it was hungry. I hope you are enjoying these stories there, everybody. Yeah, how are you finding them? Are they good? Are they bad? Anyway, if you do enjoy my content, why not think about giving me a little subscribe on YouTube? That would help me out a great deal, everybody. That would help me out a great deal. Anyway, I think we should continue with the rest of the stories, shouldn't we? I shall return. The scariest moment of my life. So this happened to me and my little brother. We'll name him Dylan for confidentiality purposes. We lived together a few years back. I was a 25-year-old male and my little brother was 19. We were relaxing playing some Halo 3 on the Xbox, smoking a bowl and just being brothers, hanging our usual daily days off from work. It was a Saturday night in mid-summer of 2009. We lived in a quiet neighbourhood. Neighbours were just far enough apart you had privacy and never got into any of your business. But we all knew each other as our parents lived in the house for years, and it was our childhood home. When my parents retired, they moved off and left the house to us, so we never had to worry about a roof over our head. Now, our house is at the end of a cul-de-sac with a garage door to the right, and our front door is up 4 steps to the left of the window between our garage door. But our kitchen, you can see straight out when the curtains are open. This particular night, however, would grow to haunt me and my brother to this day. After a few hours of hardcore gaming, it's like 3 AM in the morning, my brother would need to get up and stretch his legs and relax his hands. He went downstairs to grab some water and a snack when suddenly Dylan comes running up the stairs and locks the door, freaking the total hell out. I look at him, confused as fuck, barking, "Bro, WTF is wrong?" With a pale ghost white face, he looks at me and says, "There's a guy on the porch with his hands cuffed to the window, smiling from ear to ear." Then we hear 5 knocks at the door. We froze in our tracks, backing slowly away from the door. I get under my bed and grab the machete and bat I keep under my bed in case I ever need to defend myself. I watch too many zombie movies. I give the bat to Dylan. He's taller than me and has longer arms, being more beneficial to him. We tiptoe back to the bedroom door and unlock it. We crack the door open just enough to see out of. Then suddenly the man knocks over and over and over. If you know it, he had knocked at least 30 times. And then it just stopped. I told Dylan to grab my cell phone and dial 911. He did, and dispatch sent officers our way immediately. While on the phone, the man went around the back of our house because we heard some screaming from the backyard. The man was there, just looking at the bedroom window with that creepy ass smile. We stayed just out of line of sight, peeking from the corners. Suddenly, the man takes off in full sprint and threw himself at our back door. We holler, "Oh shit, he's trying to break in our back door," to this dispatch officer. She tells the units to step it up as he's trying to make entry. We hear the sirens closing in faster and faster as the man continues to bash himself off our door. On the 3rd bash, we hear the door crash open. We stay as quiet as possible, listening to things in the kitchen being smashed to hell, and a man yelling, come out, wherever you are." I whispered to dispatch that he's downstairs in the kitchen, and she tells officers he's made entry and one unit said he was close. We ready our bat and machete as we hear footsteps creaking up the stairs. Then blue lights can be seen illuminating the house as we hear police. "Come out with your hands up, make your presence known." The man books it downstairs and gets tackled by an officer and handcuffed, after a bit of a struggle. We came out when the officer cleared the house and made sure it was safe. The man was high on meth and just looked to rob us to get another quick fix. We thanked until the moment he left. He still came by from time to time to check up on us and even played video games with us a few times. I still get nightmares of that creepy ass smile, and to whomever you are, creepy smiley man, I hope we never meet again. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed the video, why don't think about giving me a little subscribe on YouTube? I would appreciate that very much. Until next time, I will see you later.